What if I told you one man changed basketball forever without winning a single championship? A player so small the scouts said he'd never survive, but so fearless he made legends look ordinary. This is the story of Allen Iverson. The answer. When you think of NBA icons, you picture Jordan's rings, LeBron's power, Kobe's obsession. But Allen Iverson? He brought something different. A cultural revolution. Cornrows, tattoos, baggy shorts, the swagger. He wasn't just a basketball player. He was hip-hop, alive on the hardwood. Born in Hampton, Virginia, Iverson's childhood was pure survival. Raised by a single mother, struggling through poverty, violence, and crime, basketball wasn't just a sport for him. It was an escape route. But before the NBA even knew his name, Iverson's career almost ended. At 17, he was arrested after a bowling alley fight, sentenced to 15 years in prison. For many, that would have been the end of the story. But for Iverson, it was just the first chapter. His conviction was overturned, and Georgetown University gave him a second chance. At Georgetown, Iverson exploded onto the scene. A 6-foot guard with lightning speed, fearless drives, and a killer crossover. Coach John Thompson became more than a coach. He became a father figure, protecting Iverson from a world waiting for him to fail. 1996. Draft night. Allen Iverson goes #1 overall to the Philadelphia 76ers, the smallest #1 pick in NBA history, standing just 6 feet tall, barely 165 pounds. But once he stepped on the court, size didn't matter. He crossed over Michael Jordan in his rookie season, a single move that sent shockwaves across the league. It wasn't just a crossover, it was a message. I belong here. By 2001, Iverson was unstoppable. Despite his size, he led the league in scoring, won MVP, and dragged the Sixers to the NBA Finals, almost single-handedly. Game 1 against the Lakers, Iverson dropped 48 points and delivered one of the most iconic moments in NBA history, stepping over Tyronn Lue. The Sixers didn't win the championship, but Iverson's impact was undeniable. But with greatness came controversy. Iverson clashed with coaches, skipped practices, and gave us the infamous "we talking about practice" press conference. The media painted him as a problem child, but to his fans, he was real. Flawed, emotional, authentic. Allen Iverson never got that elusive ring, but he gave the game something just as valuable: authenticity. He changed fashion, culture, and made it okay for players to be themselves. The tattoos, the braids, the hip-hop walkouts all started with AI. Today, players like John Morant, Kyrie Irving, even Steph Curry, all carry pieces of Allen Iverson in their game. He showed the world that heart is bigger than height, that toughness isn't about size, it's about will. Allen Iverson will always be remembered as more than a scorer, more than a crossover. He was the voice of a generation, the kid from Virginia who refused to change for anyone. They called him the answer. And the truth is, basketball never asked the same questions again.